Yo, it's that Native J, and we are back after the break. So, we have quite a bit of stuff looking up. Now, we're not really in the trenches, right? I was having like a couple episodes there where I was like, man, we're not doing so good. I had to redo that one episode. But things are starting to look up. I think if we just start popping these guys out too, that'll make a significant difference. So, no matter what cost, we should do this. I was thinking before I tear up. Alright. I kind of didn't want to. I was like kind of excited to just like speed and tear up again. But I don't think I need to. I think I can support the population very well. I think tier 3 is good for about 100 to 150 people. Um, I think what I should do, right, is we should think about rebuilding the kitchen before we tear up. As long as we can defend ourselves, I don't see a problem with that. So, uh, had a little cough there. I had to mute the mic real quick. So I'm thinking it'll also help a lot if we got our roads going like up through here and stuff too. Um, I don't know why I deleted that. I didn't need to. But I was kind of thinking something like that. And I want them to be able to run around to this pretty easily. So I'll pop something there and there. So I guess I don't have enough scientists right now to cover all that. I thought I did. So what I might have to do is put some of them on nighttime. Like, um, I'll probably start with these guys, right? Start some of these guys on what I'll call daytime duty, right? So they'll only work on that machine during the day when we have that machine on. We don't have any zombies in here right now, and we're not gonna have any zombies tonight, anyways. But let's start kind of doing that kind of stuff, right? These machines should be filled up. Um, we want to come in here and tell all these guys not to refill. It seems like this is the play, especially with only one guy on here at a time. As we fill up with level 3 Humvees, um, maybe we'll double that up. So I don't know who they were just shooting. Probably these guys or something. That's fine. I actually didn't even realize they were there, so maybe we'll have to open our gates back up tomorrow. But these guys aren't going to defrost tonight, so that's good. Um, so we did do that, but we also need to do this, I think. Alright, bring them down somewhere in that range. And they can even be randomized. I'm just thinking anywhere between the range of 100 and 150, right? And purposely trying to make them somewhat random numbers will help, I think. I had to cough a little bit again, so I muted it, but it's alright. We're still alive here. Uh, so thinking I might need to get a humidifier IRL. It's an IRL problem. So let's get some more power going. We haven't upgraded these to the next level yet, but that's okay. We're gonna have plenty of space to be able to move these like up in the corner like I was talking about. So I'm gonna have a bunch of these going most likely. So we'll just get a bunch going right now. I don't really want to build another one of these until I get some better self-sufficiency. You can build these. You probably saw them if you were looking on your own. I've kind of hovered over it a couple times. This is a wood nursery. So what this essentially allows you to do is turn fertilizer into wood infinitely using power, and a worker. Later, you can also automate this process. Spoiler alert, right? A lot of the stuff is automated in game. And then haulers will simply put fertilizer in it and come back and grab wood out of it and power. So you'll need haulers and power for a lot of the end game stuff. And that's pretty much it. And you'll have infinite of whatever that resource is as long as you keep your resource chain going. A resource chain, for example, if I haven't made that clear, is you need multiple things to make meat, and then you need another thing to cook that meat, and then same thing for like vegetables, right? You have to make fertilizer, either using chemicals from electricity or chemicals from rocks. Then you can grow carrots and glowberry, and that allows you to make the meat, right? Carrots allows you to make the cooked vegetables. A lot of these things, and each one of them will need a new machine for each of its processes, most of them being automated. So you can automate full supply chains all the way from like the chemicals to the fertilizer into the glowberries and the carrots into the vegetables, cooked vegetables, into the meat, into the grilled meat, into the superfood. So superfood and different supply chains like that, that's probably your largest one. But you know, other ones like ore and metal, that's into electronics. It all comes down to having enough electricity, which I just like built all this, so I don't think we have enough. If these start running, we're probably going to run out of electricity pretty quickly. So I want like this and that, and I like the wood generators, even though we don't have self-sufficiency. We are still technically um, getting this stuff all the time, which is nice. Or like we have it being gathered, so it's not a big deal. We're not quite self-sufficient, but I mean, we're doing all right. This is getting quite high on us. Looks like we got 51 damage coming in. So we do need to start figuring out how we're going to get to the next tier as quickly as possible. Um, these guys are thawing out. Looks like this guy's stuck. So we better fix that. I don't know why they keep getting stuck in there or how. But I might have to put a gate in here or something to make them work it out. I don't want to put this piece in because then he'll just be trapped. And I don't have a door right there. I might have to build gates into these rows. Especially if I just build a box around here, like I said, and put a gate over here. Then even if they break in, everyone can retreat into this section. And they still have to fight through the full thickness of the base. Man, that kind of makes me sad. I don't know what to do. Or why that happened. I guess once they break in there, we're kind of stuck in the situation where we better hurry up and do the repair process because it's somewhat tedious. I'll open the gates. I think these guys will get out of here in time. Defrosted. I think we should also start making more ice packs because we're just so low compared to how much we're outputting. We're just outputting a ridiculous amount compared to what we were before. These are pretty dope. I won't lie. These are like cool. So if we just put like, oh, you have to have the level 3 Humvee. Oh no. So we're kind of falling behind here, is what I'm starting to feel like. We got a lot of people, and we didn't get the level 3 Humvees, so that's kind of where we're at. But we'll make it work, because I want a Mega Lab, and I don't want to get rid of people. Everybody is doing their jobs, and they are all useful. We'll probably intake a couple more, because it would be good to get the other stuff going on. I kind of wanted to tier up, but I don't think we're going to be doing that. I think we're going to be just maxing out everything in the base so we could actually support ourselves here for a second. I do have a lot of scientists. These guys, 8 of these guys sitting around, honestly, I could probably like send those guys off. And maybe, oh, look at that. So 390 plus 150, that's plenty enough. I could probably send like these guys off like that, right? Because 390 plus 90 would be 480. So that should be enough, right? That's my guess. Unless I'm just crazy and I'm doing math wrong. Or I'm reading that wrong. That's not how that works. I have 390 now, and these guys are worth 30 each. Right? Okay. So I think that's what that's all we need, and we could start unlocking the stuff to do the level 3 Humvees. We're kind of just at the point where we need to watch this. We used a lot of electronics, but we're making them, so that's cool. But we want to kind of build some up so we can go to the next level. We have a lot of fertilizer and chemicals. It seems like we're doing all right. If we, now that we upgraded this, if we get the rest of the chain going better, right, then I think that'll help. I might not even, that's kind of expensive, so I might not do it all the way. Like, I don't need to do all of them, but I think it would help to do something like that, right? And I think we have the ability to upgrade these now, so let's go to food. So a better greenhouse would be nice, right? Um, so let's do that. I think if we just upgrade everything we have current along the supply chain, like these guys want more, but these guys will produce more, and they also need more to produce, but it's alright. So we're just going to go ahead and waste away as much as it takes to start upgrading these supply chains. Then we'll build up some goods, right? We'll get those electronics back, or even build more electronics, means to get electronics. So let's go into here. We can't build quarries yet. So quarries are very helpful to make sure you take in stone and ore permanently. Can't do that yet. So we're just going to kind of chill and allow these outside workers. We're going to rely on these guys still. Oh, these guys aren't even doing wood. Who's doing wood then? These guys maybe? We're getting some from them. Okay. So maybe even bringing in some more Humvees wouldn't hurt. Some level 1s, right, to do more tasks around the base. I don't want to remove these guys. Yeah, these guys are already doing their job here, and he's important for this. So we're definitely not moving anything. Maybe I'll cut stone off a little bit or something, but I think the best bet is just bring in a couple more dudes. I could always make these level 5 sitting around do something, but I'm saving them for now. I'm saving them for a rainy day. And I think watching the stats over time is the best thing we could do. We spent a bunch of our electronics, but it actually seems like those dudes produce them pretty quick. So I'm not too stressing. We pretty much have all our research points back. That's how much those things are generating on their own. I'm hoping carrots will start growing up. We could always just build another carrot greenhouse and then worry about whether or not we have enough fertilizer later. Because I'd rather be all out of fertilizer and have a bunch of food sitting around than have a bunch of fertilizer and not have food. So as long as this is positive and this is negative, we need to build another greenhouse or switch something around, upgrade these or something. At least that's how I think about it. I don't know. That makes sense to me. I'd rather have food I could just I could eat, and it'd be more effective, that 50% hunger over that 25% hunger. And I definitely can't eat fertilizer, so I don't want a bunch of fertilizer sitting around when it could be food. Yeah. Only a madman would think otherwise. Yeah. I'm kind of thinking of a new kitchen. In between this night and the next night, I think we're gonna start a huge build out here for kitchens. We're gonna start knocking these walls down. We don't need walls anymore, man. There's no walls. It's gonna be a free land. It's gonna be a happy place. It's gonna be beautiful. Um, I kind of want to build an outer wall here and here first, like build these zone boxes with maybe even a layer or two. Just that way they're not actually encouraged to attack the rest of the base. And then I'm thinking the most important building everyone has to go to or they'll die is the kitchen. I've decided the kitchen was the most important thing. I should have built the biggest one of that first instead of like a skills room even. Skills room, I think leaving this one and even building one on the complete opposite side could be the move. We build highways that go up from here, from the main storage, and along here, and everything is built on it behind another defense layer that's like five, like even 5 layers right here behind the whole thing. So let's close the doors. That is a very unintelligent thing to do. So we have hostiles in the base, but I'm not worried about it. Our defenses are working. These should kick on if they get close enough. So we're grooving. I'm also not that worried if these walls do get broken down decently, because at least they're getting frozen back here and they're not making it up here. So whatever it takes, guys. It really doesn't matter. We could also go like this, so they won't work on this stuff out here. The level 1 Humvees will be act intimidated. They will now value their life even though they're technically not in danger. And they will only work on stuff that keeps the rest of the people safe. So see, that place doesn't keep them safe, so they're not going to work on any of this stuff. It's considered a danger area now, right? So we're only going to work on stuff that we can work on. See, fight them for keeping them out more effectively. That is probably what we're going to start doing now that we're getting in the higher tiers. And that's just how that game mechanic works better. You don't want them trying to defend stuff that's eventually, because if they just break something silly, they might get in. You don't want that. You want them getting fought at points like that. Like, see, he can get in that layer, and it's not going to affect us because they're already in that layer, right? So we want people to be able to defend against most stuff. This is nice too. Sometimes you'll have guards, right? If you have plenty of them, like you could literally have 40 guards. Like I could just have 40 like guards between these two, and they could have just pretty much fought that whole thing all by themselves if you're high enough tiered. So there's different things I can do, but that's that. Power is still looking pretty measly, and that ice, it's quite a bit of ice. I want to keep hitting these up. Let's see, are they all threes? Nope, not yet. Let's get them all threes. Yeah, I'm getting crazy. And I might even build a couple extra, just so we're always ahead of the game. This is a time where I want to get some production going, right? Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of chill. I think I'm going to take in some more level 1 Humvees because I'm just greedy. I keep saying, like, oh, sometimes you don't want to. But I have the game settings on low, like I said, so I'm hoping it won't matter. I'm still not going to delete these wells just because I'm so scared. What we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to start our first layers to separate this from the rest of the base here. Which, honestly, these walls being here already, I kind of want to just like start going off that. So let's make this our interior wall. And then the rest of the layers will be built off that. I'm thinking This won't have gates here. This will be restricted to its own its own thing here. Haulers, they can still work from out of here, right? So that forces the AI, even if they get into these separate chambers, they're still going to be encouraged mostly to go towards that main gate in the end. I also think with a couple of layers here, the AI will be like, it's not worth it to go anywhere near that. We'll leave a gap until we can figure out how we're going to upgrade and position that differently. So that's kind of where we're at. Just chilling. We want to keep progressing on this front area. Um, Sometimes it doesn't hurt to break down some stuff in the back, right? So you can get some more lab points. But we're building so much compared to how many we would get deleted, it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, we're just going to kind of chill for a minute, let things happen. I feel like we're coming towards the end of the episode. Still not much going on. Still not much probably going to go on. That weak attack is laughable. I'm very confident we're going to beat 52 attack and 44 people doing that 55 attack. I don't like my power right now, like how much energy I'm generating. So I'm gonna come in here. I think it has to do with a lot of like like the fridges getting upgraded, things like that. Um, Building higher tier technology and upgrading stuff like the mixers. Everything just takes more power. So if we get some of those leveled up there, right, it'll give us decent spikes. So there we go. Hopefully now we can make that work out for us. I think we're still bringing these guys in and they're getting jobs just fine. It might bring a hauler back down, right? We could even put him up in the corner here. I want to leave a space, but I'm almost saying it doesn't really matter up here. Oh, you know what? We did leave a space there, so let's leave a space on that. It's the respectable thing to do. We know it's the right thing, in case we want to repair stuff there, right? Yeah, we'll leave that open for people to work. That'll just further help make sure everybody got ice. Ice, baby. Bun, dun, 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 dun. And we just need layers, man. Layers, layers, layers. If we just keep getting layers to our base, that'll allow us to build on the rest of the map without getting bothered. So our power's starting to go trickling away. We need to make sure we can hold some good amount of storage too. Yeah, we're just spending our electronics like as they come in, just to kind of accommodate our population and accommodate what we want, right? Accommodating building, starting to look more like a giant city layout kind of idea. And then probably investing heavily back again, like I said, into building some larger buildings. So the next episode, I want to work on finishing this layer. So I just want to get something like this done. Once that's done, and this secondary layer is upgraded here, and this is locked in, like this, what we're going to do is we're going to build what I'm going to call the inner city. So I'm going to build some elaborate roads out here, build them all the way out here, move a bunch of the power out here, maybe even put a bunch of workers out here to just start busting a bunch of stuff with this down, because this looks like a lovely like area for ore and stuff. That'll help us ride through some of this mid game and ride us right into late game. So like keep us upgrading and keep us being able to add layers. And yeah, it's gonna be like pretty gnarly. So we're coming up on the end of our episode, and I actually think I'm gonna end it right before this 44 attack, and that you'll have to wait till episode 16 to see where that goes. And then we'll have this whole other free night right here. So we'll probably check that out. Or use that to our advantage, I should say. Check that out. You should check that out. Come back and check out what I do with that free night. Maybe add some layers to my base again. Maybe we'll tier up. We just need a lot of those electronics that we don't have. Man, boy, do we want them though. I'm even considering building another one of these, but honestly, we make them really fast, so we're just using them a lot. So once I have everything I want, then, it'll work out for the best. So nobody can get to this stuff now, which is good, in a way. We're going to start deleting all this in the background here. Yeah, and that'll get picked up for the most part by the haulers. And like I said, I don't want to build gates in here. I'm thinking we're going to do an upgrade on this. Maybe make it symmetrical. Delete that, and then I'll upgrade the wall. And we'll start building our dream highway, and you'll really start getting to see a Mega Lab function or design start coming in that will eventually either leave permanent or add to. And then I don't really do decoration until the end. I might throw some decor around in different spots, but we'll have to see how that goes. So that is fixed now. We're almost at the end of the episode. When you tune back in, you'll really get to see a change in things. Now that we have a surplus of power and we have some good defenses up that we can hide behind, and it looks like we're going to have few free nights, not to worry about really anything. We're gonna make our base way cooler, and by that I mean mainly build the kitchen. Right, I want the highway to come up. I want it to probably come across this rock, and a lot of our layers will be between these rocks and back here and stuff. So our biggest and main building I want, that's going to be along that highway here that comes up, is I want a giant kitchen. That's just kind of what I'm envisioning is the most important thing. After a couple of the episodes and having to build this, I was just like, man, that was probably a backwards mistake. Like who builds a bedroom, or even like who builds a skills training room if you can't eat food? You're gonna go work out on a machine, but you don't have any calories? You're nuts, man. You're crazy, right? So I kind of did that backwards, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and finish that second layer too, just to make sure all that gets done. Okay, so I know I said I wasn't going to show the next little fight here, but I think I should show the next fight. And then when you come back, we'll actually start working on how we're going to do the kitchen, right? So let's go ahead and watch this. That way that next episode can just jump right into the how we're going to do our kitchen and stuff. And that'll be way cooler. Instead of having to watch this fight, right? We're not doing anything really with them anyways. We might turn some of them into level 1 Humvees, right? But for the most part, I don't think we really care about them. We forgot to shut the doors, but that's okay. Like I said, we'll treat this like a danger area, right? So hopefully they won't come in here and start trying to work on stuff they don't need to. It's kind of odd he's hitting the fence back there. But, I don't know. I don't think that'll really do much for him. So we'll just see how it goes. And we're doing alright on the freezing. I think once they get down here, more and more of them can get a hold of them. It does much better. And we got a lot of builders building instead of like trying to repair the gates. So hopefully they'll actually come and try to repair the gates instead of keep building this. If for some reason the Humvees do make it that far and start beating through these gates, we'll cancel this stuff. But I'm just gonna leave it for now because I think we're gonna do all right. We're not even halfway through the night, or we just hit like past half. Yeah, I think these guys are just having a long time getting frozen. Perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause there. Open all the doors, but pause there. Oh, it looks like he's still alive. Whoops, I didn't even realize. But that's okay. We'll just turn it off. Nobody cares he's alive. Um, they should just come back and get on their machines in a second. Everyone was just scared. I could close the doors. That way he's encouraged to hit something, right? Close the doors. Everybody will still go back to their jobs, though. Right? Boom. So we'll kind of let the episode in there, I think. Yep. And we are still bringing in Humvees. So we're going to increase our population a little more. Come back and see how we do.